Era pra eu ter morrido há anos. Pessoas pelo mundo todo têm a minha doença. Para achar uma cura, temos que ir além dos limites, arriscar. Se vão fugir, fujam agora.
It's a great pleasure talking to you. I'm a huge fan. And I would like to start asking you about the basics, I've seen just a little part of the movie, less than 30 minutes, and I would like to ask you, who is Morbius? Is he an anti-hero? Is he a human? Is he, I don't know, a vampire, a monster? What is he?
I think he's a little bit of everything, and that's what I think is compelling about the character. He's not just a superhero, he's not just a villain, he kind of has a little bit of it all, and it's complicated, and I enjoy that complexity.
Yeah, it's a very complex character, right? It looks like, for me, a fight about the minorities, right? You say all the time, the characters say all the time, just a few against many others, right? So what is this about, the film? It has so many layers, right?
It does. I mean, really, it's a battle between good and evil, that classic tale. But what I find really interesting about this, too, is it's got all these, really fun kind of big Marvel epic adventure action elements, but it also lives on the darker side of the universe. And I think that is kind of a first. So I hope audiences really enjoy that. I know I did.
Yeah, it's really, I really enjoy it. So you had to lose weight to do this character, because sometimes you look at like a very thin guy, when you were Michael Morbius, but after that you were a muscle guy. So how was it to you?
Well, it was a challenging role physically. Of course, I started at the beginning very frail and fragile at the end of my life, searching for a cure. And then I am healthy and strong, and ultimately become quite monstrous. So it was really 3 in 1, and that made it a lot of fun.
Great. So Jared, a bird told me that you love Brazilian açaí. Is that true?
Oh yeah, everybody knows this. That's lots of birds.
Yeah, would Morbius like that? Because it looks like blood.
Yeah, in a way it is kind of like a blood, right? It's the blood of the acai berry. So yes, I would love, actually, I wish I could have some acai right now that would really hit the spot. I've spent a lot of time in Rio and in Sao Paulo, and I just love kind of walking around and stop at the acai shop, get a little sandwich, a little acai, and go on your way. It's a nice life you have there.
So Morbius would like it as well.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. It's then, especially you get the power, so maybe that would make him even more powerful. The acai power.
Like a cold blood, right?
That's right, the cold blood.
Yeah, that's it.
Que quer caçar e consumir sangue.
Michael.
Oh, great. So it's a great pleasure talking to you. I would like to start asking you about, of course, the main character, Morbius. In your opinion, what is he? Because it's not completely clear to me, if he exactly a hero, an anti-hero, a villain, a monster, a vampire, a half-human. What is he exactly, in your opinion?
I would call him he's a standalone Marvel superhero, and to answer your question more specifically, yeah, I think he's an anti-hero.
So an anti-hero who struggled to himself, I think, about sometimes it looks like a very mental film, like, he fights against himself. It looks like something each side of us that we have inside us, like the good side, the bad side.
Yeah. I think that's a really good way of looking at it. I think it is an interior struggle that Dr. Morbius is sort of going for, and I think I've been sort of using this analogy of like the Jekyll and Hyde conflict, right? And I think we all have those two facets, which I think is really interesting. I think we all have a little bit of bad and a little bit of evil. I think his are blown up to larger proportions, which makes a bigger difference and puts other people in jeopardy. But I think what he's going through is it's an actual conflict that a lot of us deal with. I think he's just dealing with it in a higher level.
Você consegue controlar?
Eu não sei.
Metade da cidade quer matar você.
A gente não pega uma coisa boa assim desde São Francisco.
A outra metade quer controlar você.
Ô, Dr. Michael, a gente devia manter contato.
Yeah, it looks like this film has a lot of different layers, right? So what is this film about, in your opinion? It's about humans, it's about conflicts. What is this about?
I think it's about sort of, I would call maybe transformation. I think it's about someone that is so eager and has been so eager to transform since he was a little child, to transform for someone that has a deadly terminal blood disorder, to transform himself into a normal, regular human, a human that could live life normally and could do the activities, and a person that doesn't have to worry about how much time they have. And you know, he ended up transforming himself into something that he didn't really expect, and that transformation comes with other conflicts of themselves. So was he happier before, or is he happier now? I guess that's a Jared Leto question. I don't really know. But I think that's an interesting way of looking at in this movie.
Great. Well, one last question. I would like to know about your character. You know, you play a very, very strong woman, right? A woman that some people called nurse, and she says, no, I'm a doctor, respect me, you know? So what's the importance of this character in the movie, in your opinion?
I think Martine plays really a big role in being Dr. Morbius's anchor. You know, she's his only supporter, his only ally, his only true supporter, really. Even when he transforms, you know, Martine is probably the only one that feels hopeful and really knows that Dr. Morbius is somewhere in there, and is probably one of the only ones that really believes in him and believes in his words. And what I love the most is that, you know, she fears him, but to a certain extent, and I like that about her. She really holds on to the idea of Dr. Morbius, and Dr. Morbius being one of the most important people in her life.
Oh, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Okay, now I'm on, okay?
Perfetto.
Ooh.
Él es Siani de CNN.
Siani.
Siani. Yeah,
Siani.
Phelipe Siani, actually.
Sorry.
No
I have
problem.
I have a tough name too, so I'm sorry.
So you are used to it, right?
A little bit, unfortunately.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Quem é você, mané? Eu sou Venom. Brincadeira, Dr. Michael Morbius, ao seu dispor.